If you appreciate what our public forest lands provide, wildlife habitat, outdoor recreation, clean air, clean water, there's a little known Washington State program you should know about. It has protected Daybaugh Bay, one of the most intact bays remaining in the Puget Sound, and protected water quality for chum and coho salmon, as well as shellfish farms. This program has permanently protected old forests that play a central role in our fight against climate change, and helped create Washington State's most popular outdoor recreation areas. Many of these recreation areas are so close to our cities that they can be accessed by bicycle or public transit. Something of a Washington State best kept secret, this program also supports public schools and natural resource jobs. If you haven't heard of the Trust Land Transfer Program, you're not alone. Although one of the state's most successful environmental programs, it's also one of the least known. Over the last 30 years, Trust Land Transfer Program funds have driven the growth of our natural area system, conserving more than 128,000 acres across the state. With little fanfare, it has protected our most pristine ecosystems and created new opportunities for outdoor recreation. It's time to let everyone in on the secret. The elected leaders who created the program and the land managers who managed the program for decades have retired. Without its champions, the Trust Land Transfer Program is in trouble. For the first time in 25 years, the legislature may not include the program in its state budget. Many legislators understand that the Trust Land Transfer Program is more important than ever and are working to include it in the state budget. We need to urge our legislators to keep up the good work. At statehood, Washington was given millions of acres by the federal government to generate funds for schools and other public institutions, primarily through timber sales. The Department of Natural Resources manages these trust lands, which now total more than 3 million acres. However, some trust lands are too ecologically valuable to cut down for lumber. Our older forests are among the most carbon-dense ecosystems on the planet and are central to our fight against climate change. Left standing, they will continue to sequester vast amounts of carbon from the atmosphere for centuries. The carbon numbers are impressive. For example, the Devil's Lake forests on Hood Canal sequester over 200 metric tons of carbon per acre, enough to remove the CO2 generated by burning over 82,000 gallons of gasoline. Some trust lands are too risky to log because they grow on steep slopes and landslide-prone soils. Although some trust lands shouldn't be logged, DNR still needs to generate revenue from trust lands. That's where trust land transfers come in. When trust lands are reclassified as natural area lands, trust land transfer funds compensate schools for lost timber revenue. They also compensate DNR for the bare land value, so replacement lands can be purchased and managed for future revenue. Even during the Great Recession, the legislature included trust land transfer funds in the capital budget. However, over the last decade, trust land transfer budgets have steadily diminished. The backlog of forests that need protection has grown. DNR will only defer logging these ecologically valuable lands for so long, which puts thousands of acres of irreplaceable forest and habitat at tremendous risk. Even though the legislature is facing major challenges this year, we can't stop this work. Doing so would be a major setback for the state's conservation and climate goals. A coalition of conservation groups, education leaders, tribal leaders, and local government officials is urging the legislature to fund 4 high-priority trust land transfer projects this year. You can help. Please ask your legislators to include funding for trust land transfer in the capital budget.